Hey guys, this is Jan from DoraHacks and welcome to the workshop of our BTCfi Summer Hackathon. Today that's the second workshop, which is about the introduction to core chain. Before we start, let me give you some background and introduce this hackathon. So as the largest Web3 multi-chain developer incentive platform, it's an honor for DoraHacks to support and host the BTCfi Summer Hackathon. And we're looking forward to seeing all the incredible projects building on top of CoreDAO. And today we're very happy to have here Cameron and also Miriam, both contributors at CoreDAO. And so without further ado, let's welcome them to start. And for the audience, if you do have any questions in the meanwhile, feel free to drop them in the comment or chat section. So when you're ready, feel free to start.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to the third workshop of the BTCfi Summer Hackathon. Today's, please next slide please. Today's workshop is dedicated to giving you an in-depth knowledge about the different innovative features of CoreDAO, how it is driving the innovative bandwagon of unlocking the BTCfi DeFi landscape for Bitcoin. So starting off, next slide please. So Bitcoin has been it is the pioneer of blockchains. And since the last 15 and so years, we have been seeing that there's a lot of competition around the Bitcoin blockchain. Like we have features like smart contracts were developed because it lacked it with the emerging technologies, the thing that came into broad was that Bitcoin seemed to be lagging in, even though it's very secure, it had different features that were not still there. Like it is slow, does not support so much of dApp development, like as compared to the EVM chains like Ethereum, Core, etc. So what happened was uh, until recently, with Bitcoin ETFs and the other and the Bitcoin for scaling solutions, one thing that the core team wants to unlock is they want to make sure that using the Bitcoin holders and the Bitcoin miners, the Bitcoin secure infrastructure, we can build around a solution that is both EVM compatible but as secure as the Bitcoin network itself. So Bitcoin is one of the first most Bitcoin aligned chain. By being Bitcoin aligned, we mean that we take into our consensus system, we make Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin holders to participate in the consensus mechanism of the core chain. So we have around more than 18 million core chain addresses currently on our mainnet, and we have more than 252 million transactions currently on the mainnet core chain mainnet network. And we are building with Bitcoin, which means that we are engaging the Bitcoin stakers, Bitcoin holders into our infrastructure, where they are contributing more than 50% of their hash power to the core, securing the network. And there's approximately more than 150 million Bitcoin value already staked on core. We provide the opportunity for Bitcoin holders to uh, stake their Bitcoins in a non-custodial manner, where they don't have to give up the ownership of their assets and earn a passive yield also on it. Core was a fair launch, and we have a massive follower on our social channels, like 2.3 million already on Twitter, and we have more than 267,000 Discord members also. Next, please. We are driven by the brilliant minds. This is the team that leads the core chain, and we have different people. Rich is leading the team, and we have more than 60 global contributors contributing to the code base and the innovations of the core chain. And we have been launched since 2023, and currently we're in the mainnet phase. Next, please. So CoreChain aims to unlock the Bitcoin in the way that it makes up the security of the Bitcoin network by engaging the Bitcoin miners, and then it gives a native yield to the Bitcoin holders, Bitcoin stakers, by allowing them to securely stake their assets onto the core chain in a non-custodial manner. Non-custodial is that they don't have to entirely give up this authority over their assets to a third party. They can do it with maintaining the control over their assets. By doing this, by engaging the Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin stakers, and allowing them to be participate in the consensus mechanism of core chain, we allow them and to be equally EVM compatible. Core chain allows it to unlock the BTCfi landscape for the Bitcoin developers, in the way that we have different partners, like SushiSwap is now compatible with core chain. We have Layer 3 protocol, we have NLX, and so on, that are building on the core chain, unlocking the different DeFi opportunities on the core chain for Bitcoin. Next slide, please. So core chain is unlocking Bitcoin utility. The main aim of core chain is to unlock the Bitcoin utility, which was more than 1.5 trillion of Bitcoin is like a lying asset that can't be used anywhere other than, put it up in the exchanges or something like that. So what we are trying to do is, at core chain, we are trying to unlock uh, that potential that Bitcoin can be used in other utility cases as well. Like through non-custodial Bitcoin staking, Bitcoin can become a productive asset, and it can expand the security of core chain, as well as it can be used for as a native yield for the holders as well. The miners are aligned in the core chain in the fact that they delegate their hash powers to the different validators of their choice on the core network, and in return to that delegation, they are rewarded in terms of cores and core on the core chain. We also have the HTLC atomic swaps that allows trustless and immediate swaps between Bitcoin onto core chain. Other than that, core chain is completely EVM compatible, which means that we can have a BTC native DeFi ecosystem. You can have different dApps that are EVM compatible, that can work with Bitcoin and provide much more better utility use cases. Next slide, please. Okay, one of the most groundbreaking and the most innovative feature of core chain is its consensus mechanism. That is the most important aspect, that integrates three different solutions. Uh, Proof of work, delegated proof of work, in the way that the miners from the Bitcoin networks are made to participate by delegating their hash power to the different validators on the core chain. The non-custodial BTC staking, through this, the BTC holders are allowed that they can stake their BTC onto the core chain without giving up the custody of their asset, and in return for that staking and delegation, they can earn BTC. They can earn core as a reward. Then the third fundamental of Satoshi Plus is the delegated proof of stake, where we allow the core token holders to stake their tokens onto the core chain, and in return for that, they earn yield onto it. So all these three work together, and they can delegate their different powers, like hash power, their BTCs and core tokens, to the different validators on the core chain, and in return for their delegations, core chain will give them rewards for that. This mechanism of giving the incentives for the participants make sure that the security from the Bitcoin in the form of Bitcoin miners and the core and the BTC staking make sure that the security of the core chain is intact. Next slide, please. With the hash power and BTC staked, we are going. The amount is growing rapidly on the core chain. More than 50% of the hash power is currently being delegated to core chain by the core miners, by the Bitcoin miners, and more than 200 million Bitcoin value is already staked on the core chain right now. That's all from my side. I'd like Cameron to please take over.
Hey guys, I'm Cameron. So yeah, could you go to next slide? So with the BTC risk-free rate, this is basically opening many pathways for Bitcoin using core. So we have like core ETP and BTC staking, exchange, and custodian support that has been recently opened up via Valor. Upcoming, we have like liquid BTC staking as well as Bitcoin restaking. Next slide. So with liquid BTC staking, stakers can effectively secure the core chain via restaking their core or restaking their Bitcoin. Stakers would be earning an endogenous yield, and users would be interacting with core chain via BTCfi with this liquid BTC staking. And then you've got your BTC restaking, so core can secure other chains stakers would earn exogenous yield, as well as users being able to interact with specialized chains. So this is kind of what the multi-chain future would look like with this, with these mechanics. Next slide. So Core BTC brings BTC to Core's EVM universe. So basically, we have Bitcoin core chain bridging, BTC utility on EVM compatible dApps, as well as securing BTC on core chains BTCfi. So you can peg in, lock up your Bitcoin, mint core BTC, and claim your core BTC. And then when you're pegging out, you can burn your core BTC, detect burning, and verify your locker, and you can redeem BTC. Next slide. So our BTCfi ecosystem is growing pretty rapidly. So we have different dApps and teams that are building around these different use cases and Bitcoin in a Bitcoin-focused economy. So like we have Bitcoin-focused perpetuals like NLX, where you can do long or short on Bitcoin via core chain. There's Glyph, which is an automated market maker with inscriptions which are inscribed on Bitcoin from the AMM. We have Colend, which is Bitcoin lending on top of Core. And then there's other ones such as D3, which is like a domain provider for Core, and it allows you to do your own custom domain on top of Core. And many other apps that we're building around Bitcoin and Bitcoin-enabled BTCfi apps. And these are going to be growing rapidly with the teams that are building in the hackathon currently. Next slide. So the Core roadmap, we've got 2023. We had Core mainnet launch on January 13th of 2023. The Core token community airdrop was February 8th, 2023. Roughly 2 million participants were involved in that. Core chain bridging was announced in 2023. We have many different participants such as Layer 0, SushiSwap, Pyth, Oracles, The Graph, dApp Radar, some big players that are common across other EVM compatible chains. And then we have Bitcoin alignment integrations that were in the beginning of 2024. So we have the non-custodial BTC staking. We have Core native wrap Bitcoin, Core BTC. We have the Core Venture Network, which launched flagship dApp launches, a couple that I had just mentioned, such as Glyph, Wizard Gallery for NFTs, Colend for Bitcoin lending, Full Force, and more. BTC yield-bearing ETP launch, which was through Valor Wallet Exchange, custodian support for BTC staking on Core, HTLC atomic swaps, and then in the future, like I had mentioned briefly, we have the BTC liquid staking, multi-collateral core BTC, as well as increasing the gas limit and validator set. We've got wrap BTC staking, BTC for staking rewards, Satoshi Plus V2, which is going to be multi-chain, and then the Core ETP launch, as well as local fee markets. So Core is positioned to offer the best platform for BTCfi. So if you compare against like Lightning Network, Stacks, Rootstocks, Botanics, as well as Citria, the amount of users on Core is going to greatly surpass all of these. So whenever you're building on it, you're going to be appealing to a much wider user base to begin with right off the bat. We have a great block time at 3 seconds, great TPS to ensure that anyone that's going to be building on this is going to be sufficiently any users that are going to be engaging with your dApps are going to be sufficiently, they're going to have a very sufficient and efficient user experience for them. And then with our decentralization, we have, we're completely upheld by Bitcoin miners, BTC stakers, and Core token stakers, as we had mentioned in the previous makeup of the way that decentralization works within the network. And then we have smart contract support, making us fully EVM compatible, as opposed to like limited HTLC transactions, Clarity smart contract, limitations with stacks. And then with like Rootstock, you've got your EVM sidechain that's limited by Bitcoin. So we're fully EVM compatible. So anyone that's building on any other EVM compatible chains will be able to come over to Core and build just like they would be over in those other compatible environments. Next screen. And then we're also best positioned to lead Bitcoin staking. So with the custody, we're fully non-custodial. So that's truly riskless when you're actually trying to put your Bitcoin up. And this is done via the time lock mechanism that was derived with, that's kind of how we're the first ones to do this. So this is very unique to core. We've got trust assumptions, so battle hardened mechanism that's been repurposed. There's no slashing and no punishment for the risk for the fault of validators. Our value proposition is that secure core chain by contributing to Satoshi plus consensus. So basically, core delegators that are locking up their core or their Bitcoin are also going to be contributing to that Satoshi plus consensus by staking their Bitcoin. You've got your source of value, so block rewards are paid out over 81 years plus core transaction fees. These are going to be a lot better than the rates you're going to be getting at any competing ones at like Babylon, BounceBit, Merlin chain at the moment. Yielded asset, so we yield core tokens whenever you're locking up your Bitcoin. Because of the effects that we're doing with like BTCfi and the BTCfi ecosystem, core is only going to increase in the value and what it allows users to do, so that the token value will continue to rise as the BTCfi ecosystem expands, and Bitcoin stakers are going to earn more core as time progresses, and the demand of that goes up because it has more use cases in the ecosystem. And then you're allowed to select the validator you'd like to delegate, and then you can give your core chain address, and you can also move validators around. Basically, mid-validation, you can redelegate to different validators, and we have different mechanics that are built in to make the staking process really nice and seamless, as opposed to like Babylon, mostly non-custodial, BounceBit custody, and CeFi custody backed by like Mainnet Digital and Cepheus, so it's still some custody there. And then with Merlin chain, custody held in Kobo's MPC custody. And then you got your slashing risk here with Babylon. You've got your risk with financial products involved with BounceBit. Same with Merlin. And really, we've just kind of been working really hard to provide the most stability for users that are going to be staking their Bitcoin on core, and really making that the focal point for the entire BTCfi ecosystem. Next slide. And lastly, join the core ecosystem. So we have a core venture network, many different venture partners that we work with, marketing ambassadors. So we have really big Twitter following, lots of people that are engaged on the Twitter, really active Discord. We have a blog with a good amount of following on there, and then we have a pretty active Telegram channel with a builders channel as well. And then we have partner exchanges you can check out. And then we have Bitcoin staking on the different mechanics that we had just mentioned with staking your core or the non-custodial BTC staking. You're going to go to stake.core.org, and this is where you're going to be able to do all of your staking on core. And then we have the core wish list, where we're looking for the next upcoming projects to be added to the BTCfi and core ecosystem, which a lot of the tracks which are in this hackathon are designed to contribute to this as well. Next slide. So now we're on to the Q&A and summary. So
other than that, I'd like to one point as well over here. Other than the core wish list, we also have the incentive program, builder incentive program, that is designed to incentivize the different builders on the core chain. It has different performance metrics for TVL, for DApp, for gauging the different DApp performances, and then incentivizing the different projects that perform extremely well on the core chain. So you guys also can join the core ecosystem by exploring and participating in the core builder incentive program as well.
All right, so thank you very much for the great presentation. Let's give the audience some time to digest and ask questions. Maybe you could share a bit more about the core wish list. Like, what would you like to see getting built at this hackathon?
Yeah, so a lot of the projects we're looking to be built are around basically on the non-custodial BTC staking, as well as innovative use cases or infrastructure that core would be able to utilize to expand these use cases. Really is kind of the forefront of what some of the wish list things are, as well as I guess I can hand it off to Mariam for a couple more.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'll fill it up for you. For the core wish list, we give out the most demanding and the most innovative ideas that core chain can expand on, where projects can build on these ideas, these tracks, and they can utilize these tracks, utilize these guidelines to build projects that can add more value to the core ecosystem. A core foundation gives complete mentorship to the projects that apply for the mentorship, and we give a complete hands-on and guidance on how to actually get this project running on the core chain system. And then we give different grants and different incentive. We have the different incentive programs as well for incentivizing the builders on it. I can also share the link so that you guys can navigate
Yeah, like
through
in
it as
the
well.
chat section is like a link to the incentive program. But
Yeah, I've already shared the link to the incentive program. The incentive program is designed to, gauge the the performance of different apps on on the core ecosystem, for in the terms of TVL, in the terms of number of transactions and DAU, so that the most well-performing dApps, they are rewarded from uh, from price pools and of up to 400K core tokens per month. It's a monthly activity where projects can apply, and uh, they will be gauged on their performance, and then the top 10 projects monthly, they will be given out the from a price pool of up to 400K core tokens.
all right, that sounds pretty good. So as of now, there's like no more questions. Maybe what would be the best way for the audience to reach out asynchronously? Should they join your Discord?
They can join our Discord. We have dedicated dev channels on our Discord server as well. They can join our DG channels as well. We have regional as well as a official channel as well for them to communicate to for any any kind of support that they need. We have our Twitter channels. They can follow that as well. We have a GitHub official repositories that they can visit. They can look into, and if they have any concerns, they can raise issues on that as well.
All right. So like, thank you very much, Cameron, and also Mariam, contributors from
Thank you.
Cordal, for joining us today and contributing your time and efforts to this. I think it
Thank you
was
so much.
quite useful to understand more about core chain and the BTCfi Summer Hackathon. So please also join their community, ask questions about what to build and how to build it on their Discord. And there will be more workshops in the upcoming days and weeks. So feel free to also subscribe to our socials like Binance Live and YouTube to stay tuned and join the other upcoming sessions. So thank you very much, guys, and see you at the next session.
Thanks, Trent. See
Bye-bye.
ya.
See you. Thank you.